I think I do have something to prove, like to a certain extent. Obviously there's been like a lot of talk about like who I am as a person, and like I know I have like a lot of fans and people who don't approve of me that much, but that's fine. But I mean, it is what it is. I think it just comes with the territory of just being like an esports player or pretty much like any like competitive environment. So you take the good with the bad.
Hi everyone, welcome to 1v1. I'm joined today by Ye, following Evil Genius's loss to Loud in the first game of VCT Americas kickoff. So Ye, you're back in North America, competing for the first time in a couple of years. How did it feel stepping onto that VCT Americas stage today?
It felt really good. There's nothing quite like home, and just seeing all the North American fans was like crazy because I don't think I've ever been with a North American crowd, to be honest with you, in like Valorant yet. So it was really refreshing to see, and even see like some of my family members and girlfriend out there. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get to interact with any of the fans out there?
Some of them, yeah. I think I have some like after this as well that I've been like waiting to get some photos and stuff like that. So it'll be exciting.
Nice, that's awesome. So, I mean, how did it come about that you got signed by EG? Like, how did that process come about? Were there other teams that were maybe interested in you?
There was another team that was interested, but I kind of wanted to go the EG route because for me, it felt like the best like option at the time. I spent like a lot of time trialing with them, like almost like over like a month of them trialing like a bunch of different people, even people, not me and that sort of thing. So I really like the guys on here. We have like a really good atmosphere, and it's a good environment like overall. So I really do appreciate that.
How do you feel that things are coming along? Like obviously it's early, it's the first game of the season.
Yeah.
How do you feel things are coming along with the guys and working under Coach Potter?
I think they're coming along pretty good. I'm just thinking back to the match. It sucks that we lost, but I feel like a lot of the things, like the way we lost, it wasn't like something where I feel almost as if like we're doing everything wrong. It was just kind of like small mistakes. I think it's like a first match kind of thing, because I know even with like so many other teams I played on, the first match is sometimes always the hardest.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm feeling pretty like relieved. I am mad I whiffed a few shots, but it is what it is. It happens.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, how do you feel about your own performance? I know we saw you on Chamber, which I think, a lot of people were surprised by.
Yeah. No, yeah. Bust out the chamber for a little bit because, to be honest with you, a lot of the Sentinels are like pretty weak right now, outside like maybe one or two. And like some of the maps, it's like very weird. So it was really cool to bust out the chamber again. It's been working pretty well for us. So yeah, it's been fun.
So, like I mentioned, it's been a couple years since you've competed here in North America. You played in the Pacific region last year with Bleed. And then, you were with Cloud9 during the lock-in tournament just before VCT America started. And in 2022, you were with Optic, and you were considered one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you have something to prove kind of coming back here in North America?
I think I do have something to prove, like to a certain extent. Obviously there's been like a lot of talk about like who I am as a person, and like I know I have like a lot of fans and people who don't approve of me that much, but that's fine. But I mean, it is what it is. I think it just comes with the territory of just being like an esports player or pretty much like any like competitive environment. So you take the good with the bad, but it's just something I think for me, like I want to prove, I guess, to myself that I don't want to say I still have it what it takes. That's not the right wording. I just want to I think my main thing is I just want to enjoy and have fun again. I look back at some of like my previous like teams and stuff like that. Some of the most fun and great experiences I ever had, that just as like a human being, was playing in front of like stages and just enjoying it. Like putting all that work in and then seeing it like kind of pay off. So I think for me, it's like it's not so much just like I have to prove that I can do this. It's more like I just want to have fun. And just enjoy the process and enjoy the experience.
Yeah. Well, it certainly seems like you're having fun. I know you've been smiling a lot, and so I think a lot of fans are glad to have you back here in NA. What do you feel that you've learned like over the past couple of years?
I think I've learned over the past few years is like, especially with like mental and just being like a better human being. There's a lot that goes into like I guess being like an esports player, like that you don't see. It's not all just about like, for example, how much you practice and stuff like that. If things aren't going well on like a bunch of other stuff, especially in like real life or like, other things, it can impact like everything, whether you wanted to or not. So I think what I've learned is like it's important to like, take care of yourself like a little bit as well, because if you don't do that, then things go kind of downhill.
Definitely. So one of the last few games that you played when you were with the North American team back with Optic was actually the Champions 2022 final against Loud, the team that you played today. So I know it's obviously a very different team, but kind of what are your memories of that match, that final?
I think it was a really fun like match because I mean, the whole thing was like Optic versus Loud, like the rivalry the whole time, and it was always like super close games, like between like both of us, like every single time. And we were one of the few teams that could, I think, give like Loud a good run for the money, because I think prior to us, I don't think they ever lost, most of the time. So honestly, it was like looking back, it was a really fun final. I still remember a few rounds. If they went differently, it could have been like a much different final. But I mean, same could be said about like both sides. Maybe if we didn't have like a few hero rounds, maybe it would have been a stop. So it's hard to say, but it was a really memorable final.
Yeah. So yeah, that old Optic team. I mean, everybody's kind of scattered now. I know that Finesse is still here in North America. Have you gotten a chance to like reconnect with him?
A little bit, yeah. We met at Sin City for like a little bit and had talked a little bit, and it was really just good to see him again, because obviously like even like outside like Valorant, I played on many teams with him, so it's just good to see him, because I think we have like a good relationship and a lot of the other members. So
for sure. And then I guess just kind of looking forward the rest of this season here. Who are some of the teams and players that you're really looking forward to playing against?
Honestly, just playing against like everybody. I know that's a very boring answer, but like it's just good to play against like a lot of the old players that like I used to play against like so much. So I know it's really boring, but I'm just happy to play. At the end of the day.
Well, that's great. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun games. And then I wanted to ask you a couple like just kind of fun things here at the end. I know that Potter, she has like these special handshakes with each player. So wanted to know like how did you guys come up with your handshake?
Honestly, there was no thought process behind it. We just kind of did it. we were just testing stuff out. So
nice. And I know that back at the EG offices, you guys have a ping pong table, and I know that that's kind of a thing. So have you gotten involved with that?
I've gotten very involved. I've been losing. I haven't played like a ton of ping pong, to be honest with you. So like I'm still getting the grasp on it, but we've been making money bets, and I have not been. Let's just say I'm down. So please give me your prime sub.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Any message for the fans?
I guess my message to the fan would be thank you so much for continuing to support me. It's really, I don't know, it's a very wholesome and humbling experience to see all these guys that come to like the NA stage and love and support me, and just happy to see me back. I remember I booted up my first like Twitch stream, and just seeing all the despite like all the stuff that's been happening, just people who are happy to see me live. So it's very very humbling experience, and just like I don't know how to describe it. So I do appreciate that, and hope you guys take care and continue to support us.
Well, thank you so much for joining me here today, Ye. And I think everybody's really glad to have you back in Americas, and good luck the rest of the season.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.